It was a cold morning when 12-year-old Max stood outside the bike shop, staring longingly at the shiny new bicycles in the window. He had always dreamed of owning one, but his family was struggling, and a new bike was far out of reach. As he was about to turn away, a familiar figure walked into the store, a man dressed in a simple hoodie and jeans, his face partially hidden by sunglasses. Max didn't recognize him at first, but as the man walked past, he noticed the kindness in his eyes. The man glanced at Max, then at the bikes, before walking over to him. "Hey there, what are you looking at?" he asked. Max hesitated, his voice barely a whisper. "A bike. But I can't afford it." The man smiled, pulling off his sunglasses, and Max's eyes widened in recognition. It was Keanu Reeves, the actor. "Well," Keanu said with a grin, "how about we make that dream come true today?" Max couldn't believe his ears. His heart raced as Keanu walked into the shop, speaking to the owner, and minutes later, the bike that Max had been staring at was his. "This bike's yours," Keanu said, handing him the keys. Max couldn't speak. He was too overwhelmed. "This is real, right?" he whispered, still in disbelief. Keanu nodded. Real enough. Max's eyes filled with tears. This moment, so simple yet so powerful, would stay with him forever. Have you ever had someone show you kindness when you least expected it? Stick around, because this story is just beginning, and you won't believe what happens next. Max rode home that day, his new bike feeling like the greatest gift he had ever received. But as he pedaled down the street, he began to wonder, why would Keanu Reeves, a superstar, do something so generous for him? Was it a moment of kindness, or was there something more behind it? The next day, as he rode past the local park, he saw a group of kids laughing and riding their bikes. One of them shouted, "Hey, nice ride! Where'd you get that?" Max smiled, feeling a sense of pride, but before he could answer, a voice interrupted. It was Keanu again, standing by the swings with a smile. "He got it from me," Keanu said casually, waving Max over. "Thought it would be good to give back." Max walked over, still not quite sure what was happening. Keanu's voice softened. "I remember what it was like growing up. Sometimes all it takes is one person to believe in you." The kids around them stared in shock, unable to believe their eyes. Max looked up at Keanu, trying to process the words. "But why me?" he asked. Keanu chuckled. "Because you remind me of who I was once. Someone with dreams, but not always the means to make them come true." Max nodded slowly, understanding something much deeper than just a bike. It was a moment of connection, one that would change his life forever. What do you think Keanu really meant by that? Stay with us, because the twists in this story are only getting started. As the days passed, Max found himself riding his new bike every chance he got. The bike wasn't just a gift. It was a reminder that kindness could change everything. But as he pedaled down the same street each morning, he began noticing something strange. Every so often he'd spot Keanu in the neighborhood, doing small acts of kindness, helping an elderly woman carry groceries, or stopping to chat with kids at the local school. Max couldn't help but wonder, was this what Keanu's life was really like? Was there something more to him than the public figure everyone saw on screen? One afternoon, Max sat by the park bench watching Keanu talk to a young girl who had lost her ball in a tree. Without hesitation, Keanu climbed the tree and handed her the ball. When he returned to the bench, Max approached him, 1,000 questions running through his mind. "Keanu, why do you do all this?" Max asked, his voice full of curiosity. Keanu smiled, his eyes calm. "Because sometimes the world needs more good in it, Max. And sometimes the smallest acts make the biggest impact." Max thought about it for a long time, realizing that Keanu was teaching him more than just how to ride a bike. He was showing him how to live with kindness and purpose. What do you think he meant? Stick with us. This story is far from over. Weeks passed, and Max's life began to shift. With the bike came a sense of freedom he had never felt before. He wasn't just a boy with a bike. He was someone who had witnessed a real-life hero in action. Keanu's quiet presence in his life had sparked a new light inside him. Max started helping out around the community, volunteering at the local food bank and tutoring kids who struggled in school. He learned that making a difference didn't require fame or fortune. It just took a willing heart. One day, while Max was riding through the park, he saw Keanu sitting on a bench, watching him with a knowing smile. "How's the bike?" Keanu asked, looking up from a book he was reading. Max smiled back, feeling a sense of pride. "It's amazing, but I've realized the bike wasn't the real gift." Keanu raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Oh, what do you mean?" Max leaned forward, his voice steady. "The real gift was the lesson you taught me. It's about kindness, about doing something for someone else, just because." Keanu chuckled, a deep warmth in his eyes. "I'm glad you get it, Max. Keep spreading that kindness. It's the one thing that will never run out." As Max rode away, he realized that Keanu's influence wasn't just about a single act of generosity. It was about a life lived with meaning. Want to know how this story wraps up? Don't go anywhere, because the twist you're waiting for is right around the corner. A few months later, Max found himself standing in front of the same bike shop, but this time, it was different. He wasn't just looking at the bikes. He was standing in front of the store with a mission. He had saved up his money, working after school and helping his neighbors. He had a plan to buy a bike for someone else, just like Keanu had done for him. When he walked into the shop, the owner greeted him with a smile. "Back for another bike, Max?" she asked, knowing what he'd been up to. "Actually, I'm here to buy one for someone else," Max said, his voice filled with purpose. "I want to pay it forward." The owner's smile widened as she saw the spark in Max's eyes. "That's what life is about," she said, "passing it on." As Max handed over the money, he realized that Keanu's gift had ignited a fire in him, a fire to do more, to be more, and to make the world a little bit brighter. And as he left the store, he felt like he wasn't just the boy who had received a bike from a famous actor. He was the boy who had learned what it meant to truly live with kindness. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more inspirational tales, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Keep spreading kindness, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next one to make a difference.